Hello and welcome to the channel for the first time in 2023. We will start the year with the beautiful affordable piece named Citizen Tsuyosa, a name that represents power and strength. So I'm wishing you an amazing 2023 filled with balance, energy and strength. Citizen did it again. The brand launched a watch that comes with some preferred key design elements that makes this watch a potential contender for one of the best watches of 2023. It is well sized, has a compact appearance, has a tropical color with an iconic dial, and it is complemented by an integrated President bracelet, which makes it to be a compelling package for $300. So please stay with me until the end because it is likely to address some details that no other reviewer covered so far. And a subscribe would do even better. Thank you. And by the way, my videos are made and optimized for the Smart TV experience, so check out Brave Beaters on your YouTube Smart TV. And hold on, one more important thing. Apparently I was targeted by bots and spammers. They leave comments and replies asking in my behalf to access Telegram or other links. So please pay attention, do not click on malicious links unless they're verified, and please do not offer personal information. Now, getting back to our show, a thing to appreciate is the fact that Citizen as well as Timex feels to stay isolated from the rest of the watchmaking trend. If for the past 3 years the rates of watchmaking labor hour and shipping costs increased, these brands seem to keep their prices almost unbelievably good, surpassing even the micro-brands' offerings. And today it is the case, as this already popular automatic design with a sapphire crystal costs $300. Fair price, but we will see how it holds against the PRX models. And now looking at its identity, is this really an original design? Or better said, how come Citizen dares to get inspired that much from the crowned brand? When I've seen it for the first time, I was surprised by the striking resemblance with the Rolex Oyster Perpetual. A good looking watch, but not spectacular I would say, and I think you agree with me. But then I was looking at the integrated bracelet concept, which continues the case with that comfortable president style of a bracelet. And I was confused because I've seen this design concept elsewhere. So is this a combination between the Rolex Oyster Perpetual and the AP Royal Oak? Not at all. This is actually a heavily inspired watch based on the Rolex Oyster Quartz. I remember it. And immediately a positive feeling hit me, as I find this creation fun and smart, because the Oyster Quartz will never get to be reissued by Rolex, so this integrated bracelet design is free to be addressed by other brands. Was exactly the same feeling that I lived once I met the Timex Q chronograph, a heavily inspired watch from a vintage Daytona that will never get to be released again by Rolex. And then an important aspect is the color of this Tsuyosa. I think this color can be the right thing for many, but also too colorful for others, because this provides as well a contradiction between the color and the purpose of the watch. This model was already launched on the following colors, all in sunburst: green, turquoise, blue, black. But honestly, by far the yellow one combines very well the chromatic elements from the dial with the case. It makes it unitary and more natural. The color pigment is rich and the sunburst doesn't ruin the composition of the dial with reflective accents. That's important. So there's not so much to debate about this model. This is simply a fun, elegant watch to be worn especially on the warm season with rolled up sleeves like this. Now in relationship with the Tissot PRX, these two are clearly competitors. It's just the automatic Citizen competes price-wise with the Quartz PRX version, not with the automatic one, which seems to outclass the Powermatic as well, but we will see. And then size-wise, what is really interesting, although the watch measures 40mm, that the dial is pretty open and feels to wear bigger, and compared to a PRX, it looks larger indeed. But on the wrist, it doesn't provide the same feeling. The PRX, for example, although has a smaller dial, the tonneau shape and the corners of the case are making the volume to look wider because of the ends of the lugs. Where the Citizen's case is curved and follows the rounded shape of the bezel until it meets the integrated facet. And the specifications, as I mentioned, the width is 40mm with a 34mm dial diameter. The lug-to-lug is compact because of the integrated lugs concept, measuring only 45mm, has 11.8mm in height and weighs 124 grams with only 50 meters water resistance. The watch features a sapphire crystal with an embossed cyclops at 3 o'clock, and when we flip the watch we preview some beautiful gold accents of the Miyota automatic caliber 8210 with a frequency of 28600 VPH beating at 3 Hz and a power reserve of 40 hours. A fairly decent movement, but a caliber that complements the product at the end of the day with gold accents, which makes it more precious and more special. But getting back to the Cyclops, we have a problem of the golden ratio here. This Cyclops it serves the purpose and it magnifies pretty well. I do not have a problem with magnifiers on the dial in general, but in this case it feels proportionally too small, being at the border between better without it than with it. And despite that, it is a bit offset, pointing towards the center of the dial instead of touching the 3 o'clock marker. And as a matter of proportions and symmetry, the minute and the hour hands seem to be slightly thinner than the metallic indexes, which brings a bit of lack of balance on the dial. And then the dial, besides the beautiful rich orange appearance which serves as a surface, it is populated by the metallic outlines which are filled with lume. The faceted hands are made in the same language as the Oyster Perpetual models, signed on top by the brand name in black and the automatic label on the bottom, just to give enough balance to the composition. And then the lume is decent, well applied, but sadly with a decreased incandescence compared to other Citizen models. And then the crown is well positioned at 4 o'clock, and I love the fact that it sits buried on the case. But there we have a small inconvenience. To action the crown you have to position the nail underneath the case and pull it, making it quite impossible to wind the crown from the retracted position. And then the bracelet, as I praised it, it is very comfortable and good looking. It is true the rounded links do not match particularly the faceted case as it happens with the PRX, but still through finishing the polished middle links manage to communicate with the polished chapter ring and the brushed case. The clasp is pretty basic without extra complications, has 3 micro adjustment points, and I would dare to say that the quality decreases from the case towards the bracelet, ending up with the stamped butterfly scissors. But one thing is certain, it is extremely comfortable, and the President bracelet on a wrist roll adds a premium feeling to the watch. But to conclude the value of each model, the Citizen Tsuyosa clearly is a great offering for $300, mentioning once again the increased rates of the entire watchmaking production, which reflects in prices. The source watch is based on the PRX concept, which means precise and robust 10 atmospheres, so a concept that ensures a certain quality, robustness and reliability. Basically this is a watch that you can rely on, no matter if we're talking about the quartz or the automatic one. So I would conclude that Tsuyosa is not a brilliant design according to the golden ratio proportions and shapes, but it is superior for the value offered for the money asked. And the PRX is more of a complete watch which offers a true gene behind, as you know, the model being inspired from the C-Star of the 70s. And I think that the Yellow Citizen slightly surpassed the PRX quartz version, but not the automatic one. And in the end, I'm also curious to know what are your thoughts in regard to this Tsuyosa, even compared to the PRX. Please let me know in the comments section. And as usual, if you're new around, please consider subscribing for future episodes. Thank you very much, thanks for watching, and until next time. Be brave, well.